Previously, we went ahead and removed our 2012 Subaru WRX power steering rack. Obviously, it was quite destroyed. It was the world's leakiest rack, and we are definitely due for a 2015 STI upgrade. Now that we've got the parts sandblasted and powder coated, we're ready to go ahead and get this thing installed. Thank you for tuning in today. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and comment. If you missed the previous episodes, you'll definitely want to go back and check those out. I'll have those linked down below. Well, I just got all these bolts cleaned up pretty well. They're not perfect by any means. Missed a couple spots, but they are much better than what they were before. See, this one I didn't do as well. Whoops, but ones like this one, a little better. So got the bolts all cleaned up. Right now, we just need to get this thrown back in. If you watched before, or if it hasn't come out quite yet, I just got done powder coating some brackets for the car. So like these ones here, these are for the control, or for the sway bar. That's what these ones are for. I do need to quickly clean this up. This is still absolutely filthy. So I need to take care of this, just from all the power steering fluid that used to be on here. This is the little support subframe bracket thing. So I need to take care of that real quick, and then from there we can start putting everything up and in the car and back together. So that'll be pretty exciting. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna go get this cleaned up, and then I'll be back in the shop shortly. Okay guys, next, what we have, our power steering rack here. We need to basically center the power steering rack itself. Now the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to grab the new steering rack here, or the new steering column, and I'm going to take this okay, so basically I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to attach this, and then I need to turn this all the way to the right and make a line. Then I'm going to take it all the way to the left, make a line, and then I need to get a line in the middle so that this, I know, it's perfectly straight and centered. That's the same importance with the steering wheel. You want to make sure you get your steering wheel perfectly centered, and you want to get your steering column perfectly centered. And then you'll know you are in the middle for the steering column, or the power steering rack now. So right now I'm going to go all the way to the right. And let's just come in here. Okay, so a Sharpie. Okay, so this will be my mark on the right. I'm gonna go here and then here, basically. Something like that. Then I'll know those are lined up there. Okay. Now I'm gonna go all the way to the left. Yeah, I'm gonna put a little line across the right one, so that way I know that's the right one. So now I'm gonna go all the way to the left. You can see this adjusts everything. Okay. This lines up. So that's actually lined up there, so that's lined up there. So I think what I'm actually gonna need to do is count the turns. So let's try that real quick. Sorry, you're getting the raw filter of all this. So that would be one full turn. 2 right there and a half. Okay, so half of that would be 1 1/4. Okay, so this would be 1 1/4. That in theory should be perfectly center for the steering column. So I'm now going to do a double line just so I can keep this all straight. Double line here, double line right there. Now I know for a fact that this should be the center of my steering column. So yeah, seems pretty easy. Let's go ahead and check our work. 1 1/4. So we should do 1/4 and then 1. Yep, and we're on the halfway mark again here. So that means my power steering rack is now perfectly straight or centered for getting it up in the car now, in which it'll now match up perfectly with the steering wheel itself. I'm being interrupted by a beautiful woman. No. All right, guys. So right now, I've got the old Knuckles control line links here on the sway bar, and I need to get them off. Now, the problem is I've stripped out the Allen head key, which was a 5mm, and to get these off. Now, what I did on this side to eventually get this side off was I ended up cutting off this with the grinder, but I still have to get this specific bolt out. We are going to start with the power steering rack. This is going to go up and in. You're going to want to be careful of the boots. Make sure you don't catch them on anything underneath, and then yeah, you just pretty much get it up and in there. It's honestly pretty easy. I don't really know how to explain it. I mean, if you've taken one out, then you're gonna know how to put it back in. But let me go ahead and show you guys what we're looking at. Okay guys, just to quickly show you what you're looking at for the bolts you have for this job. You've got your 2 long ones here, which are 14mm nuts, and you're gonna have 2 of the short, which are also 14. All of these are 14mm currently, what's in this bowl. These 2 shorts, which these all short ones are all the same. These 2 short ones and these 2 long ones are gonna be for actually holding up the power steering rack in the middle of it, which is down here, which we're gonna need to wipe up down here a little bit. It's these 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's where the 2 long ones go in. I'll have to look and see. I don't remember the exact spots. Before I get up in here though, I am gonna grab one of my rags and wipe all of this up.
I apologize, everybody. I accidentally had my camera overheat. I didn't realize that, so it didn't catch me actually installing this part. So for this next clip, we're fast forwarding here just a little bit.
I went ahead and took a wire wheel and sanded down all the rust spots that were on this sway bar and just all the uneven areas, and I went ahead and spray painted it. The paint I used was kind of a nice special paint. It's this Krylon high heat, goes up to 600 degrees, so shouldn't be changing any colors or anything like that. With the capability of the high heat it has, it helps with rust. All those, it's more of a utility paint, but it makes it. I mean, you can't even tell. It's literally just like a gloss black paint, semi-gloss, I'd say. It looks brand new, and so just went ahead, gave it a fresh coat, got rid of all the rust and everything that was showing on there. Just the little imperfections. Gave it 2 fresh coats of paint. Now it's gonna stay looking really nice for a long time. So very stoked on that. Also, as part of the powder coating episode, if you missed that, the one thing we did powder coat, and I'll show this under the car, is we have our clamps here for the actual support braces for the sway bar. So these brackets here are in much nicer shape now. Okay guys, gonna kind of enter this in real quickly to kind of explain the torque specs for the power steering rack. Now the bolts, there are 6 bolts that hold the actual rack up, and it was the ones that touched my brand new powder coated one. I failed to mention this earlier. I found the torque specs for a Forester. Looks like it's the same power steering rack, so I'm gonna assume it's the same torque spec. I think you're gonna be pretty close. Basically, those 6 bolts are gonna be at 45 foot-pounds. The brace itself, truthfully, I didn't torque those. I just good and tight is what I did for the little shield for the control for the sway bar and the power steering rack. The shield cover, I just did all those, the 10 14 millimeter bolts. I just did those good and tight. I think that's fine. It's just the shield being held up. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It's probably pretty low on torque spec, to be honest. So for the torque for the power steering rack itself, you're probably looking at about 45 foot-pounds. I think I'm around that point there. I actually forgot to torque them, and I'm gonna quickly go back and check those, make sure those are good to go there. Outside of that, what I'm very excited for is the steering linkage. You'll notice right here, there is a groove through these threads. Okay, see how my finger, it indents past that point. Now, your new steering linkage, what you're gonna want to do is the Z's, the sticker with the Z's goes on the bottom, and this other side obviously just goes right up there on top. This comes up onto this. I think you're actually going to want to do the, from the looks of it. Oh boy. This is going to be harder to do one-handed than I thought. And I just moved my steering wheel around. So it's going to be pretty critical that you keep that perfectly straight. I think I'm going to go get some blue tape and just tape that in straight. So I went ahead and grabbed some actual duct tape. Make sure that stays nice and straight. Then you're gonna grab your steering wheel that you're sitting on. Now what I need to do is get my light. We're gonna grab these 12mm bolts, and I put new crush washers on the end right here, just so you guys are aware. Real quickly before I tighten that all the way down, those look like they are straight there. And then we just want to come in here and make sure our steering wheel stayed straight. Yeah, that looks good. And then real quickly here, grab the phone. All right. These say 17 foot-pounds. That seems a little light, so we're gonna go ahead and do like 25, because 25 is still nothing for these things. All right, guys. So I messed up. Here's the confession time. So here is the U-joint, obviously. Now, on this side, there are threads. On this side, it is in no threads with a nice flat side. You see how this side's not flat? So, I was dumb, and when I was putting this on, I ran the bolt with the lock washer on the non-flat side, which I believe is what caused my issue, because eventually when things were starting to get tight, it started to move the bolt in the direction of the non-flat surface. So that is what I believe caused this to strip out. It's not looking too good. So I'm probably just going to drill out the hole entirely, so there's no threads at all. And then I'm going to take my bolt, and I'm going to stick a lock washer on the bolt side, and then I'm going to push this, then I'll push it through. I'm going to have another lock washer on this side that'll go over this end with the nut. And this bolt length should not, there's nothing next to the steering column to where we have anything to be concerned about. So like the only thing that's around here is, well, it's nothing. There's nothing in this vicinity. So the little bit extra length on the bolt that I bought I don't have to cut it off. It's a bolt. The bolt is 1.5 inches long. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill out this side, and then we'll pretty much go from there, because I don't think I'm saving those threads at all. Okay, ended up just going and putting it in a vise and drilling and tapping that, so that's nice and clean all the way through. So I'll just show that there's no threads on that side. So all right, well, I'm back from the drawing board again, getting help from my father-in-law and brother-in-law, who are a little bit smarter with these things. And this is the setup they recommended, and I trust them more than myself, and I think this is a great idea. So we're not going to do it it's a M8 bolt with a flat washer and an 8mm nut on this side. Now, it seems really janky, and it's like, what the heck, you know, your brand new part, you screwed everything up. I am not too concerned about this, because this is just the U-joint for the steering. You know, like it's not my drive line. This isn't going to be spinning 100 miles an hour. You know, when you're going straight, it doesn't even move. So I'm not too worried about it the way I am now doing this. So I'm going to thread it through, and then I'm also going to put, and I think I said this, but I'll be putting some blue Loctite on there, so that it's just like on the nut side, obviously, so that I have a good connection and seat, I guess is how to word that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to double check my pivot shaft and everything, only because I felt like I did this correct. I don't think there's any issues with this. And as far as, I'm going to turn all the way to the right, all the way to the left, and redo my lines and my marks. I feel like I kind of rushed that process. I think I did it right the first time, but now I'm just in my head about this whole project. So I'm going to check my measurements, make sure that I actually have my steering column 100% correct, and get this done right for the now second attempt. So this time around, I'm gonna do this right. Steering wheel perfectly straight there. Steering column right here. Now the way I get this on here is you bring it to the back side of this, lean it back, and then I'm gonna rock it forward, is how this has been working for me. Or vice versa. Come on now. Okay. All right, and just to be sure this time around, we're just gonna put blue Loctite on both of these. Calls for 17 foot-pounds. We're gonna just do 20, because that was for a Forester. I'm gonna assume a Subaru is a little bit higher. Okay. Okay. Those should now be 100%. Okay, as you guys just saw, I just finished putting the U-joint steering linkage on, and obviously from this episode, you can tell that was way too much work for what that really called for. But I am very confident in my work. Just to kind of show you guys again, this is where the nut and bolt is. There's nothing in the surrounding area. Ouch, just pinched my hand. There's nothing that's going to be that bolt, the longer bolt and nut will be hitting. We're 100% good on that. So, well, if you want to be dumb, like me, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and put your bolts in on the wrong side and strip your $150, $180 new part, and then go ahead and spend like an extra 3 hours on something that requires 30 minutes. So, you know, if you want to just be like me, you know, if I'm a positive role model, that's how you achieve that. So it's nice to have that done. So overall, I am super stoked with how this all came out. Now, the last thing, and I just saw out of the corner of my eye that I need to quickly do, is connect these power steering lines. Right here, could you imagine if I forgot to do this and then put the power steering fluid in? So these just caps here, they just pop off. And then we just need to put these bad boys on. And they're ready to go. So again, another plug and play thing here for the Subaru. Very, very nice. And before I put these on, I'm gonna hurry and look up the torque specs so you guys will know as well. So got all those in. The shop is a mess. I don't like working with my tools on a mess, so I have a tendency to clean things up a little bit. So I'm gonna tidy up a little bit, and then what's next that we're gonna hurry and finish tonight is getting the hub assemblies in the car. I'll have to look at the torque wrenches for that as well, or the torque specs for all those. Obviously, I'll let you guys know what I end up doing for those, and we should be good to go. But taking a second to appreciate just how clean all of this looks and has turned out. Talking about the new power steering rack, the new lines, to me cleaning up the bolts, everything is new. It's just really nice to see your hard work for like your day jobs, and a lot of you feel this. I don't know, I'm just appreciative of my life and what I have and being able to do this, and it's so cool, and it's just gonna be so awesome to have this car running at the end of it all, which hopefully, fingers crossed, is very, very soon.
Well guys, that is it for today's video. In the next video, we will be getting some more work done on the Subaru, as you can see. So thank you so much for your love and support. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and check out the Instagram as well. And thank you so much for what you all do. Be safe until next time.